soft, quiet, disbelieving. I was sitting in my son's school office and staring at his photo on the screen. Slower, each word its own weight. Same face, same eyes, but underneath it, in bold red letters, deceased, shaking, barely holding together. I walked out of that office shaking, and I called him, barely above a whisper, each word its own breath. 1 ring, 2 rings. Sharp intake of breath, then soft, flooded with relief. Then he answered. It was his voice, my son's voice. Soft, fragile, desperate. I almost cried from relief. I said, "Hey, you won't believe what your school just told me." A voice dropping, something shifting. There was silence. Then he asked, "Where are you?" His voice was flat. Too flat. Quiet devastation, each word heavier than the last. Then the call ended. I tried calling back. His number was gone. Not blocked, gone. His messages vanished, like he had been erased. Slow, dreading every word. When I got home, my younger son was sitting on the couch. His eyes were red. He looked at me and said, "You went to the school, didn't you?" Voice barely holding, the question landing like a stone. I asked how he knew. He swallowed hard. Then he said something I'll never forget. "If he's dead, then who slept in our room last December?" Slow, memory pulling him back. And suddenly, I remembered that night differently. He came home late, said the bus was delayed. He hugged us. Quieter, darker, the warmth of the memory curdling. He ate dinner, barely spoke. At the time I thought he was just tired, but now I remembered the way he watched us, like he was studying us, like he was trying to remember how to be my son. Barely a whisper, something deeply wrong settling in. That night, I noticed he never slept. He just lay there, completely still, eyes open, staring at nothing. Slow dread building with every word. I woke up around 2 a.m. Footsteps moved slowly down the hallway, dragging, stopping outside my bedroom door. Voice almost gone, pure dread. I thought it was him, but the footsteps stayed there too long, like someone was standing outside, deciding whether to come in. Broken, the confession landing like a wound. My younger son looked at me and said, "Dad." He looked like him. He sounded like him, but he didn't feel like him. Determined, jaw set, pushing through the fear. I drove back to the school before I could talk myself out of it. Controlled fury, every word deliberate. I slammed my hand on his desk and I said, "If my son is dead, show me." Slowing down, dread replacing anger. He didn't argue. He just stood up and said, "Follow me." Behind the school was a cemetery, small, hidden, quiet. Voice dropping to almost nothing, each word its own devastation. He led me to one grave near the back, and there it was, my son's name, my son's birthday, his death date, 2 years ago. Shaking, refusing, voice cracking. I shook my head. I said, "No, this is wrong." The principal's words landing one by one like blows. The principal looked at me and said, "You were here at the funeral. You stood right here." The certainty draining out of every word. "No," I said, but my voice didn't sound certain anymore. He said, "You gave a speech." My chest tightened. "You cried when they lowered the coffin." Slow, each word pulling something buried to the surface. Then he looked me dead in the eyes and said, "You said you wished you could see him one more time." The whole world went silent because suddenly remembered, barely a whisper, the most painful words in the entire story. Not everything, just flashes, rain, black clothes, a coffin, my own voice breaking as I whispered, "Please, just one more time." Hollow, everything collapsing inward. And just like that, I remembered everything. He was gone. He had always been gone. And something else had come back in his place. Dead quiet, each word of the message landing separately. Then my phone buzzed. Unknown number. One message. "I came back because you asked me to." Voice barely functioning, the body knowing before the mind does. My hands went numb. I looked up slowly at the edge of the cemetery. Someone was standing there. Slow, each observation more wrong than the last. My son, same face, same clothes, same little tilt of his head. But he was too still, too perfect, like something wearing a memory. Quiet horror, the smile described like a wound. Then he smiled, not warmly, not lovingly, just correctly, like he knew, that's what my son would do. Voice gone almost completely. Just breath and dread. Then he raised his hand and waved, raw, torn open, love and survival pulling in opposite directions, and I felt it. Every part of me that was a father, wanted to run to him, but every part of me that was still alive knew I had to run away. Dead silence before each word, the question assembling itself slowly. My phone buzzed again, same number, another message. Do you still want me to stay? Hollow, defeated, the full weight of everything settling, and I stood there in that cemetery, my son's grave between us, the thing wearing his face, still waving, still waiting, still smiling. The quietest the voice has been, the most devastating. And I realized I was the one who opened the door. I was the one who made the wish, and now something had answered it. Do I still want it to stay? No, I haven't answered yet.